Dennis, there's a perfectly good Rex body behind you. You don't have to chase critters. Come on. You could eat his eyes. I'll make stew for you. You haven't got to chase Come on, Dennis. He hasn't trusted me since I lied to him about the juvie stew last time. I did make a substitution for adolescent instead of juvie. I haven't had a trophy in days. I think he just wants to feel like he can kill something. And critters are as good as juvies. It is official. Dennis has short man syndrome. Please send your support to Dennis. In this trophy economy, my business is dying. And there we go, he ate the entire thing. Hello. If you've been wondering where I've been smashing my head against a wall.
I'm losing my fucking mind.
So, when replay mode first got added to the game, I had a couple of ideas. One was cinematic, so I enjoyed making the little music videos. I enjoy, I like watching those scenes that some people make where they have tension and actual, cinematography. They're making like a little movie or a documentary, and it's cool as hell. But I had another idea, and that was to try and add it, see how I could make an actual fight look interesting. And I found out it is so difficult. At least in the case where, it lasts longer than a minute and a half. Just because looking at, Path of Titan's gameplay, if you're seeing through their camera, they're turning their, you can see their focus and all that, but from a third-person perspective, it's just like 2 or 3 people just running around in circles. But that is enough of my rambling. This will be an attempt to combine gameplay and replay. At least my first attempt. And if it goes well, I can try it in the future. Though I will say, they take a while. But with all that out of the way, I hope you all enjoy the video. Alright, this is going to be difficult. So, it starts off like any other time that I log in with friends.
I'm going to kill you, Abyss.
I join in through the menu, hop on ramp, try and catch myself a little fish, and then head over to my friends, because they said that there was a fight happening over there.
So you're all over at Waystone, is it? At Whitecliff's Waystone, I'm guessing? No?
Prime my health recovery buff by having just a small little nibble off of the arapaima, and then just head over to where my friends are.
Right, where you at, Sib? I've already taken a bite for a fishy breath. Yeah.
But after getting my buff and giving Sib her food, I misheard Abyss, who said he was in a little bit of trouble.
Where you at now, Abyss? Oh wait, no, you said Whitecliffs, didn't you? Fuck, I went to Wilderness.
And after finally arriving where I was asked to come to, Sib was getting attacked by 2 Sukos, in which I could not really help her. Mainly due to the case of... it's 2 Sukos versus 1 duck.
I see.
And Claw Barrage is scary.
By the home cave.
And so Abyss, I think he grabbed the trophy and just ran out of here, but there is one problem. There wasn't just 2 Sukos.
Oh, I see it. Concav.
So now that there's been bloodshed, me and my friends decided, yeah, let's fight them now then. Okay, that's fine. So my role is scouting, because hey, I'm a ramp and I didn't really want to switch, and yeah, we pushed on harder because of the trash talk. But remember when I said that it wasn't just two Sukos, we also ended up seeing a Concav there. But then, of course, an Achillo and a Raptor. And yet again, I can really do nothing to help Abyss in this situation, other than just take the trophy. And then I ended up finding Toxic, who was making some noise, and of course, he was suffering the same as Abyss at the fate of Raptors. This was also still the time where Raptors could not be hit by the person they pounce.
Toxic? Yeah.
Thankfully, because he's duck and he's still relatively close to the shoreline, he hasn't got very far to run. So, Sib is now on a Suko, and I did want to deliver this trophy, but Toxic said that the Achillo and the Concavinator are just around him. And here is where my effort went into. In the top right is my perspective, and yeah, the rest of the screen is the replay.
Toxic just chilling there. Over by me.
And so people in the chat that I was in were then thinking about where are the Sukos, are they on their way?
I'm sure they are. Yeah, the duck's in the water, please bring the Sukos over. That's usually it. I mean, I don't see the Sukos in the water of the lake. So, they've either switched to something... Oh, no, I see them. They're coming right to you, from north, along the water. The, milkshake Suko. Toxic.
And so when the milkshake Suko arrived, Toxic was kind of just trying to not really rush it down. He was kind of waiting for Siblet to show up on her Suko. But obviously we had to remember that this Suko right here also had another friend on Suko, who was probably on their way. But as Siblet arrived, we all knew that the other Suko would not be far behind. And with that information, Toxic and Sib just decided to absolutely burn down this Suko before the other one could really get anything done. Turning this what would have been a 2v1 of two Sukos versus one duck into now a 2v1 of one duck and one Suko against one Suko. But we got some more people as well, just to kind of even things up, because we remember they had the Concav, the Achillo, the Raptors, and so we have Saka on their Hatzegopteryx, and yeah, they just kicked ass in this entire fight. Well, with one Suko down and a Concavinator very, very hurt, it only made sense that the other Suko would run off. People will try to help them, though.
It would work. Ha!
And Saka had the best seat in the house to watch that. Now here is where it all went so wrong. We are all not in a voice call with Saka, who's on hats. And so I tried to just give everybody a damage buff with Ramphorhynchus, because that's what you do. And then I decided to just give it to Saka. And this is kind of the mistake that happened here. They didn't know which Suko was good or bad.
No, no! No, no!
Thank God they got the message as quick as they did. That could have gone so wrong so quickly. So, while I went around the island trying to search where the Suko went, I really just went right past them.
I didn't see him go around the edge.
So, after missing that Suko, I decided to get some water because, hey, I don't want to die. But thankfully, I was still in render range of the fight. So, Saka ended up following, the Suko down the beach near the water, and ended up pushing that Suko itself into the water. Because our main player here, Morcrom, showed up, on his aloe of all things. So, because it's a Suko, of course they're near the water, but one thing we didn't expect was a Spino. Though I think we should have expected it, because hey, you're at White Cliffs, the entire ocean is right there, right next to the cave. It makes perfect sense to just have a Spino here. And so Morcrom keeps harassing the Suko, kind of putting it on edge. The Suko keeps trying to drag people to the water, or make them follow to the water, or at least back to the Spino, because, hey, big scary apex. Makes sense. But thankfully, they don't seem to have anything in their arsenal to be able to deal with people from behind. And that's where Sib ends up showing up to try and, get their Suko in the back line. There's only one problem with this. Their Spino is full swim speed, and there is no getting away from that in the water for a Suko. And here, Toxic could get in the water on his duck, but there's one problem here. As I said, that is a full swim speed Spino. There is no way in hell that a duck would be able to catch it in the first place, so that Spino could swim off into the ocean for as long as they want, and be safe. But of course, I missed that entire fight. And after hearing that Sib died, I decided to go to the waystone to try and get her back. There was another ramp there, though.
Hope that's you. Oh, fuck, it's theirs. Yeah, they had a guy on ramp.
But because they knew we had a ramp, I was afraid they'd camp the waystone. So I left, and just kind of hoped that one of our friends on Meg would end up waystoning Sib. And as I was getting closer and into render distance, it seemed that Morcrom and Toxic were both just kind of double teaming this EO, trying to chip it down, trying to wear them out a little bit. But hey, EO's hurt, and that EO was not alone. So Morcrom was kind of pushed out of the area. But then they turned around to Toxic. And they kind of just did the same thing to him. It was a very good idea to try and just get away from the cave, just to make it take longer for them to just keep switching dinos on us, because they have all of their dinos in the cave. There's 2 EOs and an Amaga. So while we kind of recuperate and regroup and, prepare, all I can really do is feed information. Along with a little annoyance.
Oh yeah, they're going. Spino's going towards the cave. Oh no, yeah. Yeah, too much psychological damage. Hits 40 points of psychic damage. Yeah, okay, Spino just went in the cave. Oh, no. EO's sitting at the, yeah, just at the White Cliffs Lake.
But while I'm annoying the trike, the Suko came back and looked at their own dead body. It was kind of magical. But then they went into the cave, and then they did like a little switcheroo of the Suko going into the cave and then the Spino coming out. It was like a magic trick. It was kind of cool. So, while no eyes were watching, the Spino, came out of the cave. They went back out to see. This Suko came back out to get some stamina. I'm guessing they went in there mainly just to change some abilities. And then the milkshake Suko ended up getting back here from the waystone. That's an adorable little interaction. And so here, well, do I really have to explain it? We got a Thalamakazi going after Saka's hats and pretty much just killing themselves off of just bumping into it. And so here, Saka ended up chasing the Thal out to sea. And, well, it's kind of silly to do so, to actually try and get a Thal at sea, because it just dives into the water and it's safe. But, thanks to that, I saw something. Because, at this point, the last information people had on the Spino was that it went into the cave. And now I finally knew that it was out of the cave. Which just means less surprises.
Yeah, the Spino has gone out to sea, and found like a small island to rest on.
And so for this point, Sib ended up inviting me to a group and told me to just stay near the Spino and the Thal just to show on the map where they were resting. At least while she swam back over.
Oh, he's getting up now. Yeah, he's coming towards the cave now. Yeah, he's gone into the cave now. Okay, Suko going back in the cave as well. Oh, wait, no. Yeah, there's Suko, yeah, Spino, Suko, Amaga, and Io are going into the cave. Oh. Oh, wait, no, they aren't going in the cave. Another Io going, is around the cave.
So what they're actually trying to do right here is to make sure they're at least in, sprinting distance. All just so that they can try and get a quick ambush on Morcrom. Because every time the Morcrom has shown up in the fight, he's given them quite significant problems. And so they want to try and surround him. So now that they've all gotten each other's positions, they've started to try and push up the ramp to try and push him down towards this Io right here. But he knows not to dilly-dally and just run away. I really liked this little running thing here. I just wish I could have been a lot smoother with it, to be honest. Look at that right there. But other than that, just Aloe's running animation just looks cool all the time. Either way, he runs off, and he knows that Saka has been fighting one of their Sukos as well, so he just sits and rests and gets some stamina ready. Saka ends up luring the Suko over, and I try to do something in this fight. let's be honest. Why am I saying, oh, come on? I did something dumb. I flew into that with not full HP. And, yeah, I didn't try to get health back either. But luckily for me, I did end up spawning in Kelp Forest, or pretty much right next to Young Grove or Triad Falls, whichever you want to say. And it wouldn't take long for me to get back. But here's the point where some of us were getting a little bit frustrated over how this is going, just with the fact that they can keep switching dinos and yeah. And here is how I try to explain it to people.
Thing is, Sid, you're never gonna beat it. This is where they stay. This is where they like to stay, and they have all of their fucking dinos posted up around either in that cave or the Triad cave.
So when I say there's no beating it, of course you can kill their dinos and then you could leave the area. But that's the main thing there, is leaving the area part. Unless you want to, like, you know, just enjoy the PvP and blah blah blah, you know, and just keep fighting, they will just keep coming back on fresh dinos. Because say if they have one dino in the, you know, in each of the 4 caves, you know, like Triad, White Cliffs, Desolate, Young Grove, then they can just keep coming back so long as they're far enough away from one of those caves.
Why wouldn't it? Yeah, as I said, they've got everything fucking posted up around here. There's no beating it, unless you have it that yourself, really. Well, that's what I mean. They've got, you know, you kill one Suko, they grab something from a different cave, like over in Triad, and walk that over, and then, and if they don't, you know, if they can't spawn in either of those, then they usually have someone on ramp just quickly fly to the waystone, which they have done about 3 times now, and just to waystone them back. And then once they walk it back, they just pop her in the cave, and then they switch to something else.
And so from here, I was a bit of a dingbat after I ended up dying, as I ended up forgetting to actually start the, you know, replay recording again. So the rest of this is just going to be like standard my Ramp gameplay. So here, Morcrom was being attacked by a Kentro and an Aloe, both albino. I don't know why people choose albino. If I want black or white, I'll play a game of chess. Either way, it was just a quick stack up of Woozy onto the Kentro, and then its turn was even worse than what Alderon made it, making it the easiest kill ever for Morcrom.
Yeah.
Thankfully, Elite on his Meg was keeping the other Aloe kind of just busy. Then we gave a little bit of trash talk.
Yeah,
Back.
I pounced the Kentro and just nerfed its turning even further than it already was. Switch again. I put 2 of those because it means it was 2 messages up. Haha. Yes! Right, where are you, Elite? No. Oh, you're the Meg, are you? Yeah, it's running along the path.
And now, at this point, it's pretty much just cleaning up. They switched through so many dinos, and people have just been wiping them out left and right and center. They've had to go to the waystone multiple times. They've had to cave dinos multiple times. They've had to switch dinos multiple times. They've gone through Achillobators, Concavenators, Latins, Sukos, Spinos, Eos, Amagas, and a goddamn Thalassadromius in a pear tree. Am I sounding toxic right now? I feel like it. I don't know. I think it's just all the trash talk they ended up saying in the chat throughout this entire thing.
Ha! Laying down. They gave up pretty quickly. They were happy to chase Morcrom with a Kentro, or, you know. And while Morcrom was injured, I'm pretty sure.
Let's not get this twisted here, though. I did nothing skillful here. All I did was just tell my friends where, you know, the people we were fighting were. Information. Maybe with, like, the occasional ramp buff, you know, like plotting whispers, or, yeah, because ramp. Either way, we just kind of messed around in the area for a little bit, waiting.
Yeah, it's me. You fucking dingbat.
But we did know that they were prepping for at least one last fight. And, well, they know where we are already because we're making a lot of noise. But now we know where they are. But because they know that we know where they are and where they're, you know, trying to set up and start the fight, they just run in, they rush in because they wanted to try and get an ambush. But now that chance is gone. So, with no surprise element for them to take advantage of, they ended up actually splitting up, which just made it really easy. And for this little fight, to just make it a lot easier to kill this Suko, I did just sacrifice my health bar and just let them hit me, just to make sure that I can fully stack Woozy on that Suko. Nerfing their turning and making the fight infinitely easier for at least 10 seconds on that Suko. The other Suko ran into the water, which Sib started going after right away. So Sib ended up killing the yellow and red Suko, and once the milkshake Suko got low enough from Morcrom and Abyss biting it, it ended up diving into the water, and yeah, it started fighting Sib. This is an insanely close fight. One that I had literally zero power to help with. Thankfully, Elite on his Meg ended up finishing them off.
Nice.
Best part for me, I ended up getting a trophy. And it was a claw trophy as well, which I usually don't get the chance to get many of those. I wish I would get more Stego plates as well, or maybe Amaga spikes, or Kentro spikes. Yeah. Or, better yet, the rarest, or the hardest one to usually get for me, Iggy Thumbs. I need to collect Iggy Thumbs. Okay, now that we're back on topic and not talking about collecting thumbs of iguanodons. Yeah, I ended up swimming over to Sharptooth Marsh just to try and get my fishy breath active again with a health recovery buff. Mainly because, hey, this is their area. This is where they keep all their dinos. They have their dinos in these caves. In Triad as well, surely. So what we did, we just sat around for like 10 minutes, something like that. Kind of just messing around and talking, waiting for them to come and wipe us out of their area. But alas, when I ended up looking at the server list, they had left the server. So, I guess that's the end of it. They went through so many dinos, we kept the same dinos the entire time, except for one duck right at the start. So, time for the outro.
I'm gonna take a break. Ta-ta.
So, now that we're at the end, I think I learned a couple of things with, you know, just a couple of editing tricks that I could do with Share Factory. Hopefully, they paid off in trying to make this video actually interesting. Let me know in the comments. And before I actually call out this outro fully, let me just do a little shout out to Morcrom and Toxic Midget. Morcrom, he's always streaming on Twitch. On Twitch he goes by 2Vinter2. Have a look at him. He's always killing everything and he has entire servers and Discord groups chasing him usually. But nevertheless he still just kills them all. And then we have Toxic Midget, who he's been a bit more active lately, and he has been putting out really surprising videos, and very good ones as well, of just killing everyone he comes across, pretty much. Guy pulls off stuff that should not be done, but he doesn't care. He's a psychopath in the best way possible. But either way, I hope you all enjoyed the video, and I hope you all have a lovely day. Bye!